This morning, we got a brand new trailer for Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, and honestly, it's looking pretty cool. It's definitely a different experience than you're used to for your Yoshi games, but now, I definitely finally know what in the world is going on and why the Nintendo Switch 2 games seem a little weird. What's going on, everyone? How's your day going? Let's get straight into the video. Okay, so if you looked over at the Nintendo Switch 2, you could probably notice a giant trend, a giant pattern. The games feel different, they feel weird, they seem like they're innovating but in some different ways. Now this is definitely noticeable for the recent games that we've been getting, and probably ever since the Nintendo Switch 2 ever launched. Because right now, we got games like Mario Kart World, Pokemon Pokopia, Tamagotchi Life, Kirby Air Riders, and so many other fantastic games. But if you looked at all of those games, what do they all have in common? They're all different games. And honestly, this is fine. They're innovating in a lot of different ways. And you can tell this by just looking at them. If, for example, Mario Kart World. It's probably been over 20 years since the last time Mario Kart has actually changed. Like, a big noticeable change. Mario Kart World definitely changed the formula in a lot of different ways. It might not have been well received by the community, but at least it gave the Mario Kart team the time to actually innovate and make a game that they really want to make. Not necessarily a game that they know, hey, this is going to sell, unless probably because it's Mario Kart. But the point is, this one has gotten a lot of innovation because of the fact that you can go do a whole bunch of 360 flips, and plus it's an open world. But the movement in that game is kind of crazy. Then you have probably regarded as the best Nintendo Switch game to this point, Donkey Kong Bonanza. This is a game that you pretty much just let the team of developers cook with whatever game that they want to make. And trust me, this definitely works out in our favor as well. Not only did we get a fantastic game that you wouldn't have necessarily thought would exist, but here we are. This is something that you really look at. Donkey Kong Bonanza, a random Donkey Kong game really being the best Nintendo Switch 2 game, highly regarded as the best Nintendo Switch 2 game. It's kind of crazy. But then you had games like Kirby Air Riders, since Masahiro Sakurai really wanted to make a brand new Kirby Air Riders. It's been a long time. It's been over 20 years since the last time we got a Kirby Air Ride game. And you can notice a trend from that as well with other games that we're going to talk about. But Kirby Air Riders definitely is that game that you'll look at and you're like, okay, he really wanted to make this game. He's really happy about this game, really proud about this game. And what could we see next? Well, usually it works out in a favor if you look at it even with doing anything. Let's just say you're doing a pound of work or something like that. And let's just say that it's work that you don't want to do, but you have to get it done that day. Compared to work that you want to do, but you don't even have to get it done that way. But then the next probably pound of work, you'll probably do it and have a great time if it's the one that you were like, I actually like doing this. So then boom, you're going into the next one. What I mean to say is when you look at it, Kirby Air Riders is the game that he wanted to make. Okay, cool. Then you look at the next Super Smash Bros. Game and it would probably have a lot of creativity and fresh ideas on the next game. So this is honestly really perfect. Then you look at games like Tamagotchi Life. This is a game that we haven't seen in over 10 years. The last time we seen it was on the 3DS, and in fact, that game was massive. It was really a big game that everyone liked. It might not have been the biggest of games, like your big 3D Zeldas and your big Marios, but it still is something like that. So now seeing it return, there's a lot of community that find it really fun and cozy being able to make Pokemon with their pets in that game. Now I haven't personally played the game, but it definitely seems really interesting. Then you also had other games like Pokemon Pokopia, a random Pokemon game becoming a system seller, which is honestly really crazy when you come to think about it. So the point being said, the point being clear, the games that we're getting right now aren't necessarily going to be the big games that are going to be system sellers, make everyone happy about the games. But in fact, they're games that developers actually want to make. And you best believe it, probably in 2027, the next couple of games are going to be huge. They're going to be massive games. They're going to be game changers, innovation, everywhere, which is definitely really cool. We can see something like 3D Mario get something similar to Bowser's Fury in some way, but also have some Odyssey and maybe some sort of open world. It definitely would be really, really interesting and really exciting, because as you looked at it, we've seen other Mario games sort of get that polished look. Like we've seen a random tennis game. Now usually tennis games don't sell well at all, but I feel like it's fun for the developers and it definitely has a lot of innovation. You have just random baby story, which is really cool and really interesting in a lot of different ways. Now we have this Yoshi game, which is definitely, again, not a big system seller, but in fact, it's a Yoshi game and they haven't really done one in a long time. It's definitely different. For me, it feels like Pokemon Snap in that regard. Because when you look at it, Pokemon Snap is a game that you go and hunt for Pokemon by taking pictures of them. Not by battling them, not by doing anything else, but by taking pictures. Pretty much what you're doing here is surveying for new creatures, and as you complete levels by doing some parkour, you get coins, and you can use those coins to unveil what's next. Honestly, think that that is definitely a really cool idea of a game. Honestly, if I haven't made the point clear enough, it pretty much makes the most sense like this. They're pretty much just making games that either developers want to make or they just want to go all willy-nilly on them. And the next ones are going to be something massive. Because if you looked at what has been leaked for this year, and so far we got two things that are going to be happening, so I honestly think it's going to be happening. You got Star Fox, which we haven't really seen a Star Fox game in over 20 years. The original one, not the one with the toys or making different changes, is going to be an original one. And we also are supposedly getting some sort of Nintendo Switch 2 Sports, which is more than likely going to be something about Wii Sports, but like a remaster, kind of like you had the Wii U Sports Resort, the Wii Sports Club, but this time on the Nintendo Switch 2, which is going to be honestly fantastic. And then you can look at games like for September or October or whatever, you can see Luigi's Mansion 4, which would be pretty crazy, and just let the developers have a fun time with that. It could be a level-based system, it could be another system, and of course, the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake. This is one that they probably know is going to be a system seller. This is one that they're probably going to put all the time and effort that they need into that game. It pretty much is just basic supply and demand and get excited over things. It's kind of like you're a content creator, or maybe you're just like being excited over things. Like you get that feeling that, okay, I'm really excited for this thing, I want to talk about it. Maybe you know the video isn't going to do good. It's going to get a 10 out of 10 rating, and then there you go. But at least it made you happy. And then the next one, you can just talk about, you know, what you want to, what is actually going on, what the main focus is. Kind of like the Legend of Zelda ranking video. If you want to go and check that out, guarantee you it's going to have a great time. It ranks all of the Legend of Zelda games. Yeah. So anyways, I honestly think that this is what's going on with Nintendo. It might not be the most exciting thing with the Nintendo Switch 2, but it's coming. Nintendo Directs are coming. June Direct is going to be massive when this actually does happen. It still could be May, still could be. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope that you enjoyed. Consider to let me know what you think about all this in the comment section down below. And consider hit the subscribe button, the like button, and have a fantastic day and see you in the next one. Woo!